lot of folks out here today, they do not have a good understanding about God and a good understanding about themselves. Understanding, somebody says it's the best thing in the world. You know, if I didn't have understanding, I couldn't stand here before you all today and tell you about what the Lord would have us to know. I couldn't do it. But I thank Him today for a good understanding. And so here in Matthew the 16th chapter, and I'm going to look at verse number 24, and I'm using for a subject, it's not what you have. It's not what we have in our lives. It's really not. A man told me one time, a friend of mine, uh, we was looking at some stuff in my backyard, and y'all know I got a lot of stuff. I got some of everything. And he was looking around. He says, "Man, you got a lot of stuff." I said, "Yeah, I do. Man, I got some. I got stuff. I just got a lot of stuff." And I never will forget that. My good friend, he moved out of the country now. We was friends for years, and the Lord bless him. Of course, his dad was my pastor when we was young, going to church. His name is Rick. Y'all probably know him, Rick Lanier. We worked together in the church, and we helped his dad do the broadcast, like what Park and Short doing back there. Me and Rick did that, and of course I was his armor bearer. I carried the pastor Bible in the briefcase and all that like that, and I was just close to my pastor and what he was doing, and I got opportunity to be in his home a lot, uh, and I thought that was nothing but a blessing by me and the pastor's son being close in age and had something in common. We hanging out together, and so I spent a lot of time at my pastor's home.
Thank
Almost every Sunday, I was at their dinner table because we had service Sunday morning, church Sunday morning, 11 o'clock or 10, Sunday school and our service. And after that, we went back Sunday evening for the evening service about 5 or 6. And I didn't have a car. And so, of course, I was 17 and didn't have a car to get back and forth. So the people that picked me up that Sunday morning take me to church. So I didn't go home. So I just got in the car with them and went home and had dinner there. So those was some good quality time I spent with my pastor and son and their family, and it shaped me. It shaped me to be who I am today. And I thank God every now and then I reflect back on that, and it shaped me to be who I am today. And I really thank God for that. And of course, the bishop poured a lot into my life, and a lot of things he said that shook me up. You know, sometimes we have to say things that shake y'all up. And he realized that I learned my Bible, I read my Bible, and you know, not to be bragging on myself, but I was a pretty smart little fella. And he knew that. And he said some things about me that shook me up and keep me praying on my knees today. We had other boys in the church that was around there, and they was a little on the wild side, and they wasn't as serious as I was about the Lord. And on the way home one day, of course, we had this church van, and the bishop, he dropped people all, pick folks up, and Sister Ednette was on the bus, I guess taking her home or something. And everybody around there knew that I could read the Bible, and I was pretty smart being a little young fella. And he said something that always would keep me praying. You know what he said? I'm going to share with y'all. He told Sister Annette, "Yeah, Brother Thomas, he real smart. Know that Bible. He can quote scriptures." Oh, man, I could quote scriptures just like that because I read and I studied a lot. But he said, but if he don't be careful, he going to bust hell wide open. And and he told her that, and she told me what he said. I said, "No, why did he say that?" Because sometimes smart people can get big-headed, and you can really hurt yourself knowing a whole lot. You can you can mess up in life. So that was a word from the Lord to me to always keep me humble. No matter what I know, I always be a humble person. I never act like I'm more than somebody else. And he dead and gone to heaven. And this was like 40 something years ago. And it with me to this day. That he said and spoke to my life. If I don't stay humble, that I'm gonna bust hell wide open. Because the Bible said much learning and much knowledge cause people to get puffed up. It'll mess your head up. See, you know, a lot of people go to college, they think they know more than everybody else, and they act like it, and they show it, and they won't treat you right, and they gotta air about themselves. You gotta be careful when you know a whole lot. You can lose a lot of friends because you act like you all that and a bag of chips. You act a certain way. You better say humble. The more I know, the humble, the lower I try to get and fall at Jesus' feet. And so that keep me praying because I don't want to bust hell wide open no matter how much I know. Look, I done read this Bible so much from cover to cover. I done been through it so many times. Yeah, my bishop was a great teacher and I learned a lot under him, but I'm going to always stay humble before the Lord. Let's get into my message today. The message today is having a lot of stuff is one thing, but stay humble. Uh, uh, it's not what we have in our lives. Can y'all agree with that? It's not what you have in your life, but it's who you have in your life. See, a lot of people, they got a lot of stuff, but they don't have God. And so you're missing the main thing. And we want to make sure we keep I was reading a book one time. It said, keep the main thing the main thing. That's what the book said. Keep the main thing the main thing. Because you could get way out there. And you can just drift away from the main thing. And that's what's happening to a lot of people in life. They're getting away from the main thing. I was looking other day at my niece. She's out of town, out of the country, and studying in school. And Lord bless her, she's over in Japan studying and learning another language. And when we come back, she's gonna be speaking Japanese. And she's gonna have to teach us how to talk. But anyway, I looked at that girl and I see how that this is really growing her up. And not only is it growing her up, she's really finding out who she is. And I will say this, I'm looking at her, I believe she coming more spiritual now since she gone than she was when she was here. Because she meeting people that love God. And it's taking a toll and it's making an impact in her life. Sometimes you have to get away from the circle you in because the circle you in you may not be getting nowhere. Have you been around people seem like you ain't getting nowhere? If it seems like you ain't getting nowhere, you need to change some things. Because you can't go higher. It's a fact. You can't go no higher than the circle that you in. If the circle is this high and you in it, that's how high you going. But if you want to go higher, you gotta expand and broaden your territory. You know, am I making sense? The Bible said this right here. He said that he that walk with a wise man shall be wise. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to be educated and all that kind. Just be with somebody that knows something. And just hang out with them and love them and let them hook on you and let them pour into you. I guarantee you will know almost just as much as they do. Just hang around them. If you walk with a wise man, he said you will be wise. And the flip side of that is you walk with a fool, you going to be a... Are y'all listening to me? Okay. But here is not what we have in our life, but who? But who do you have in your life? That's very important. I encourage all of you all to surround yourself with some good people. tripping and doing some of everything. And you just wore your life out. Drink alcohol and going out. It's going to be abused. Going out. It's going to be abused. It's going to be mistreated because that's what the life of the world does. It's going to be mistreated because that's what the life of the world does to us. It causes us to mistreat ourselves and to abuse our body. But see, God knows how to bring the beauty out of his people. Can y'all say amen right there? The Bible said the saints, oh, how beautiful are God's people. The beauty of God beautify. He said he beautifies the meek with salvation. Y'all look good this morning. And you look good not because of you, but because of him. Can you say amen to that? It's because of him you look good. Amen. I'm so glad I didn't let the devil wear me out. Amen, somebody. Now he was, don't get me wrong, he was wearing